Because I was an anthropologist working on my own, the rural reconstruction people, this is a big organization, saw me doing this, so they thought, just the person we need. So they asked me to come. Well, we were very special people because we belonged to this welfare organization. And we had a very good nurse, a brilliant nurse. Childbirth was a very common cause of death. And she was a person that would go out in the middle of the night if she was called. She was loved. And we were part of her group. Yeah. She was one of our members. So we were also loved. And we went out taking sandwiches. When you're going to go there, you're going to go get up early in the morning. Yeah. You're going to go up, and then you're going to this house.
So you would just knock on their door? You would
just walk in. You just walk in because they have a courtyard.
Yeah.
Anybody can walk into the courtyard.
But banditry was really
strong
in that area.
Yeah. You see, the bandits, the robbers, I won't call them bandits, I'll call them poor farmers in the off-season when they have no work. They don't have their own land, so they have to be hired. So they're hired at planting time and harvesting time. And while the plants are just growing, they have a hard time to make a living. So then that's when they have to go up into the hills, live up in the hills, and then come down and do their banditry and escape back to the hills. This is such a typical house. They always look like little people. You don't see it there, which is strange, but they have vegetables, pickles hanging down, and inside the house they have meat hanging down. I have to find out whether they're members of the family or whether they're people that are hired.
Were there a lot of people who are addicted to opium?
Oh yes, a lot. See, opium was also a cure for dysentery, but for diarrhea. When I was traveling, I had a bedding roll. Yeah. And I would go to the market, at 7 o'clock. There would be a bunch of men that want to get a job. They're carriers, and they're just sitting at the market to be hired. Yeah. So I would go down and hire a man to carry the load. But once I went, I was anxious. It was a very good, beautiful day, and I got up early, and I thought, well, I'll get up early start. Yeah. So I went down to the market and spoke to one of the men that I had carried for me before. And he said, oh, we can't send out before 7 o'clock. And I said, well, why can't you go at 6 o'clock? Get off to a good start. Yeah. He said, but the market for opium doesn't open till 7. Oh. So nobody could start out before 7.
What is press ganging?
That's seizing people that are not eligible to be seized, to put them in the army. Well, the army needed soldiers, and there were laws of who is eligible and who is not eligible. It covered the rich and poor alike. Yeah. But of course, people broke the rules. If they're rich or if they are clever, they can send their son into hiding somewhere, pay for somebody else to replace their son. If a very poor man might sell himself to a family to be conscripted into the army. Families don't want to be conscripted, so they hide their sons or to do.
But why did the government need soldiers?
Oh, they're fighting Japan. This is a war for Japan to occupy China. And they've already occupied parts of it in the northeast. Yeah. And so now they're trying to get them in Sichuan. I love that work, going from house, visiting the houses and talking with the people and learning such interest. It's because I had such a good companion, Yu Shiji. My Chinese wasn't all that good. So every evening when we came home, we sat down and I typed out everything that she told me about what had happened during the day. Whether we went out or whether we were in the village, at the end of each day I have a record.